Hello everybody, my name is CoolBlue, and I'm bringing you guys yet another Casters Network presents the CasNet interviews, and this time we got somebody who hails from the broadcasters, but we'll talk about that a little bit later because his name is, his name is nothing, something I have trouble pronouncing, I'm sorry, Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida Tsuki, just plain old how it's
Ishida
written.
Tsuki, Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida
Yeah.
Tsuki. Alright,
Yeah.
so I should spell it out phonetically, but ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so Ishida Tsuki, would you please introduce yourself and just let us know a little bit about yourself? You know, like what you do in real life and all that background stuff.
Yeah, I'm Ishida, also called Ishida, like full handle Ishida Tsuki. I like video games. I also cast them. Yeah, I'm 21 years old, I think. Yeah, I am. I'm 21 years old. I am from Switzerland, and yeah, that is basically what it's up.
Outstanding. Alright, so next question I'll ask you is, because I kind of did this backwards, but would you like to say hello to the beautiful people out there, please? I totally start with that normally, but I forgot. My bad.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you normally do that, but okay. Hello, beautiful people. How is everybody? I hope you're having fun listening to this. Yes. So, hello.
And if you're not, it's all his fault.
Which I apologize for.
Nah, it's totally my fault. We've been recording for a while. Alright.
You're doing this wrong. Like, it's always everybody else's fault and never yours.
Yeah, but that's like CasNet. We are collective, so we have to work together. So if it's your fault, it's my fault too, because we care.
Hippie talk. Hippie talk.
All right, so where did you get the name? Where'd you get that name from?
Alright, so that is like it's one of the more ridiculous stories because I got that name like years and years back. I started out in the anime community, which is something that a lot of people don't really like, so that's one of the first brand marks. And over there I was they also tend to give each other nicknames with handles, etc., but not for online use, just for like, yeah, you're like this is your new name now, because we like to segregate ourselves from reality. And my name was Ishida Tsuki, and it's like Ishida was the name of a character from Bleach that looked particularly like me. I had longer hair back then. And Tsuki was like my 12-year-old's idea of being cool because Ki in Japanese means moon. So I am Ishida from the moon. And it just kind of stuck with me. I used that to log into Steam and Skype and whatever, and later used it on Battle.net, and yeah, so
Nice.
everything came to that. But it comes from my anime past.
Okay, and hey, don't be ashamed of your anime past. There are a lot of people who love anime, and I'll
Dude,
actually
I know, but like most of these grown-ups people on the internet were like, oh, yeah, so anime is okay, but most people that actually promote they're watching anime are 12-year-old kids with an attention disorder. So I would prefer you not to sully the remains of anime with your childish behavior.
Yeah, it's. I don't know how to react to that statement.
Yeah, no, like a lot of people, I like to call them elitists, just act like twats after you told them that you liked anime as a kid.
Yes.
Because you can't fully appreciate the art of the medium, so
Meanwhile, they're looking at the other form of anime, which we will not talk about because it's not professional. All right, so assuming that you guys didn't know what I was talking about, Ishida, could you please tell us some of your favorite animes, like just one or two?
One of my favorite animes in the past few months were, of course, the Kyokai no Kanata, which was a really, really good anime. I think those were like 20 or 24 episodes. Really good story, good characters and everything. And of course, Kill la Kill, which I recently finished and is amazing because it's over-the-top action all over the place. And actually a pretty good story, even though it needs time to start up.
Okay. Alright, I'll just assume people who know about those will go check them out and they'll love them, all the anime lovers, and all other people like me who don't know what he said, we'll just move on with our day. So the next question asks us, how did you get into video games? Because I heard you mention Battle.net, and that sounds suspiciously, super suspiciously like StarCraft. So, how did you get into video games?
I got into video games in another weird way. So, do you know the guy called Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yes, I do.
Yes. All right. So, a friend of mine linked me this video. Dude, this guy's hilarious. Check him out. Again, I was like 12 or 13. So I watched his videos, and then I saw this guy and actually started to get interested in this medium called video games, because as a kid, all I had was a Game Boy, and I played like hundreds of hours of Pokemon until my mother actually sold my Game Boy and my Pokemon. But otherwise, I didn't really play that many video games. And then I really got into retro games. I still have a big collection of retro video games, NES, SNES, all of that kind of stuff. And then it just went downhill from there. I got an Xbox, I got a PS3, and started being one of those dirty console peasants. And then...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's origins probably started from consoles. Probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, consoles are amazing, or like were amazing, to start out with video games, because they're easily accessible. You can just set up and play. At least you were able to do that. New generation.
Actually, but still, okay, the updates kill it completely.
Yeah,
but
like,
still.
And then I got my first laptop or PC, and I started playing video games and stuff, and then suddenly I got into a game called StarCraft 2.
Ooh.
And I kept playing the campaign, and I wanted to go and play online. And then I discovered that there was such a thing as an esports scene. And then I started watching tons of competitive StarCraft 2, which that was not even funny. I went on weekend-long binges of just gulping down StarCraft matches over and over.
Question.
Yes.
Is Destiny still playing StarCraft?
I have no fucking idea. I don't watch StarCraft that regularly anymore. I watch WCS from time to time, but let me check Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is good.
Because last time I checked, I didn't know, but I thought he was still playing. But I think I think he's still doing his coaching stuff, where he's just like, it's like, who was it? Who was it? He said somebody know. Who was it?
Oh, Destiny's retired.
He's retired?
Yes.
I actually didn't like him as a person, but his commentary was good enough to where I could listen to it and I could enjoy it for what it was. But I didn't like him as a person.
He actually went over to League of Legends for a short time and then started streaming StarCraft again. But he's retired.
Okay. Alright, good to know. And you were continuing on along the lines of you were watching a bunch and a crap ton of competitive StarCraft. So the question I asked you is, how did you get into casting? Because was that something that led you, was that your gateway drug, or was it just...
Yeah,
I want to start
StarCraft was
casting?
definitely my gateway drug. So while I was watching this content, I also started watching these people that actually commentated on the StarCraft tournaments. And I am a very voice-oriented person, and there was one voice that stuck out to me and really made me want to go into casting, and that was Total Biscuit, John Bain, because he was one of the first casters I met, and his voice just mesmerized me. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that too. This seems like really fun. So yeah, I started out casting some amateur StarCraft matches a friend of mine did. Offline mostly, or like live. I say that because sadly there are no records of this, because this shit was hilarious. I didn't have any idea of truly competitive StarCraft apart from what I heard in the casts. So I just kept bumbling on about the game, and it's a decent playable, that was everything. And yeah, I continued from there.
So your first cast is like, minerals are blue, and these ones are yellow.
Yes, hello everybody, I'm Ishida, and we are casting a Zerg versus Terran, and Terran is actually gathering a lot of minerals here. Wow, he actually is pumping out those SCVs really fast.
It's like, dude, it's the same thing every start of the game. Stop talking! No. No.
And he put down a supply depot, and again, producing the SCV. Wow, this guy really knows his micro.
Dude, I would almost pay money just to hear that. Do you not have a link? Do you not have a link, or is it just...
I really don't. I don't remember what the Twitch was where I casted, and I don't even think the organization that I casted for existed anymore. It was like a Swiss amateur league. I just casted in-house. It was really fun. But as I said, those were the worst fucking casts of my life.
It sounds great. And so you stayed in it long enough to where you started moving from game to game. And we were talking a little bit earlier, for everybody who doesn't know, which is how I knew about StarCraft. But you also commentated for Nuts too. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, I did. I was a big part of the
You forgot.
competitive scene for a while.
You forgot.
Oh yeah, now that you say, I actually remember casting for Awesomenauts.
It wasn't that bad. No.
No, it wasn't. Like, I
Okay.
loved the scene and the game was fun, but yeah, I was a big part of the Awesomenauts competitive scene for a while. I was the head of the organization called APL, that is the Awesomenauts Pro League.
Oh, wait, whoa. Okay, before I continue, I'm sorry, I interject. Because I totally remember looking them up a while ago, and I was like, I want to contact them because I want to cast, because this is when I first started casting, like, wow, almost 2 years ago. No, a year and a half ago. I'm old. Holy crap. But yeah, I looked it up because I was thinking about moving to other games besides just doing Dota, and I saw that, and there was like tournaments and stuff and spectator mode, and then I actually saw the work you guys had to do to actually cast before the spectator. So.
Oh, that was fucking garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, for everybody who does not know about the bane that is casting for Awesomenauts. Okay, so Awesomenauts is a really fun game that actually developed a small competitive scene. It's a 2D jump and run MOBA-esque, it really is an online battle arena. You have 2 lanes, and it's 2D jump and runs, really fun.
It puts platformers and Dota together, which I love, because Metal Slug and Crash Bandicoot, those are my favorite games. Well, not Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, like, if you put together Dota and Metal Slug, I think you would have awesome. It's a really good game. Perfect
game, Metal Slug. Love that game too. That's my heart right there. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, Metal Slug, too good. Alright. Well, back to get away from wanking again. I like, people tend to call that like wanking over video games. Like, oh yeah, that game was so good. Yeah, Metal Slug.
Yeah, girl.
Game.
It's like, take them slugs out. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Keep going. Professional.
Yes, professional. Apologies. So the big issue with casting for a competitive Awesomenauts was the game had no spectator mode at all. They didn't have replays, they didn't have spectator mode, because they didn't really expect to actually get a competitive scene going. The main idea for the game initially was to have like a casual MOBA experience. That they also have like a fun drop-in, drop-out system. Well, yeah, that was the big problem. So what we had to do to cast this game is the players had to stream the games. Then we had to put up a stream ourselves and watch their stream and then restream their stream and then put commentary over it. So it was an absolute mess, and it also ate up all of my broadband for the time, which was amazing. So I just had those stuttery streams.
And it was, I mean, if you could successfully get everybody to send you their POV of the game, you can clip it together afterwards, which is great, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that was a lot of work, and as I said, like the live tournaments, we just restreamed, and there were issues because teams didn't have actually the broadband. Like, they could compete, but they couldn't stream, or stuff like one of the guys actually put in a 20 seconds delay, and the other guy put in the 30 seconds delay. So when you wanted to switch between POVs, you had to watch out that you didn't do it in the middle of a team fight. So the team fight was already over on the other person's view, but it was the worst.
Yes, it was. But don't worry, there's a replay system. Or no,
oh yeah,
there's
replays have now been introduced, and spectator mode as well. We, like, APL got in the talks with Ronimo, those are the developers, and big shout out to them. They're the best fucking devs you want to have if you interact with the scene, because they talk to us, they listen to us, and they supported us in a big way. So these guys are the fucking shit, if I may say so myself.
It's okay.
But yeah, like, they put in a lot of stuff, and they actually want the competitive scene to grow now. So yeah, they're putting work towards that.
Oh, nice. And just to shift gears a little bit, and for all those who are wondering, I know it's Dota everything, Dota music background, Dota background, but CasNet is about interviewing casters, commentators from all different weights of games. So it's actually a very unique opportunity for us, which is why I'm asking so many questions about different games besides Dota, for everybody who came here to see a Dota caster, because Ishida does actually cast Dota too. But we're actually about to move to Strife, because I want to ask you about the Strife scene. Like, you cast and commentate Strife with Creepy Pie as well, right?
Yeah, or more like we did. We haven't casted the Strife game for a few weeks and months now, even, because the game actually We had some technical issues after a big patch. You couldn't actually watch replays anymore that people sent in, and I'm jumping a bit ahead, but that kind of contradicted the idea of the of broadcasters, where we actually did cast those games. So we just laid off a bit, and then when we wanted to come back and actually get our own games done, so we could cast something, we discovered that the Hon crowd actually moved over to Strife, and it turned it's not as bad as people say, but it turned pretty toxic, which is really sad because it was a really fun game, but people are just so aggressive, not even funny. Like, Strife was the first game that a guy actively told me to go and kill myself.
Oh, wow.
Because I missed the skill shot.
Really?
Yes, that was disgusting.
Well,
and just kind of put me off the game.
See, and just to make everybody, just so everybody know, it happens on the internet. People are different. It's the people who say that, not the game that says that. But my first experience of that was League of Legends. But I've been playing that. I played that for 8 months before I went into Dota, so there was enough time for that. But being that you've played many different games, you've been able to see many different type of scenes. So could you very briefly, and I'm throwing an extra question here, could you very briefly give us your diagnostic of all the scenes, like a Dota, Strife, Also Not, and well, you can't really speak for StarCraft much, but just those three.
Alright, I also played, so I also got into League for 2 or 3 months, so if you want to hear that. Okay, the scenes for all the games. Dota 2 has a interesting crowd, but they're really elitist, so you first have to get into the game. The first steps for a newcomer are fucking horrible. You're gonna get crushed, and there is a ton of content to help you out, but to get over that initial hurdle, it's really difficult. But after that, they're actually a really decent crowd, and I haven't had too many run-ins with people that told me to go kill myself.
And if you dare tell people that you started with League of Legends, you better be ready to have tough skin, because people can and will, and they probably will say, "Oh my gosh, this League player, blah." It's not a legit argument, but
it's not that bad anymore. Early on when it still was a closed beta, or when you actually needed a key to get in, it was worse. There were all those guys that came straight from either Hon or the Warcraft 3 client, and were like, "Oh god, you are one of those little League kiddies? Please, dude, go back to your little kids game."
Yeah.
But right now, it's actually getting better. We had a guy in a game recently who said, "Hi guys, this is one of my first games of Dota. I played League before, help me out." And they actually helped him out, which was fun. But yeah, earlier on it was the worst.
So the scene is maturing.
Yeah, the scene has matured. It's still a long way to go until they're actually a good scene, because there are still a lot of rotten apples in there. But it's my personal favorite scene, but it might also just be because I traverse in it the most. So,
right now, could you speak a little bit more on the Also Not scene? Because you mentioned the Strife is starting to get more people from Han that are migrating into the game, and just more people all around. So it's starting to get more people in general. Oh
yeah, North has a really fun scene. The thing about North is that the competitive scene is kind of split. There are it's first off, to start out, it's really small. And then you have 3 or 4 teams that actually want to play competitively. They take themselves some time to actually get the tournaments down, etc., and it's fun. And then you have the kind of people that just, "Oh yeah, let's play some awesome notes," and if they actually get in the tournament, they just play for a bit, and then they don't show up for the games, or they just leave in the middle of a game. We all had that happen in a tournament. The best thing was best of 4, losers final, and suddenly one of the guys just disconnected, was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and eat, see you guys."
Wow.
They didn't take the competitive scene seriously at all, which really hurt the building of set scene, because it can't really build up integrity as a competitive organizer when you just have people straight up leaving your games.
It shows lack of respect, like I said, for the scene. It also shows kind of more so I mean, to be fair, the Also Nots in all of its air is kind of built around the casual, because the drop in and drop out system, I think, is the best drop in and drop out system, but that's only because it's only 3v3. Also Nots is 3v3, so it's not that big of a deal if you drop out. A bot, it usually will suffice, because you can let them be OP and stuff. But my question to you is like, do you think that system, like a drop-in, drop-out system, where a bot fills in a spot, do you think that could fit in with games like Strife or games like Dota, or do you think it's something that you cannot do at all?
Drop-in, drop-out system is something that doesn't work for like the real MOBAs, like I like to call it, like Strife or Smite or Dota, because the big it's a big discussion in the community, like since day one, is to balance out somebody that drops in new or like actually drops out, because the boss won't be able to perform up to the player's skill level. And like if somebody gets in, like you are losing and then somebody drops in and he gets like a bunch of solar is like the
Experience.
thank you, it's money, it's gold and experience in one. Like what happens is that you don't really level up, you just buy more and more upgrades. So somebody drops in with like 10,000 solar and gets to buy everything right off the bat, even though your team has been the enemy, you fucking crushed the enemy team up until now, and then he just gets in and absolutely destroys all of you. So balancing is a really big problem with drop in, drop out. And if you go into a competitive realm, it's really, really hard to actually balance around that. So I don't think that would work in any other game.
And just to throw in, just like my few 2 cents, because I did play Also Not to Lie, if you guys haven't picked up on that. But another thing that I've seen happen in a game, like we're just dominating so hard because I'm that good. No, we were just working good as a team, and we got to the point where they were just getting steamrolled, and they couldn't counter one of the people that we had. So somebody dropped out, and then they came back in with a different character. They got their solar, bought stuff, and they proceeded to continue the game. We eventually won, but the fact that they could switch characters, that was like another thing that I thought was a little bit.
That was also a big thing that people discussed about. And again, it's like just people abusing the system, and if you either get out the feature that they abused, or you start punishing players. And that was like a discussion when I left. I haven't been active in the Awesome Not scene for like half a year. So I don't know where they stand with that yet, but I remember this being a big issue.
Right, and I'm pretty much gonna like just like more or less skip over all the other questions that we have listed and just ask more about these different games, because I think this is a more unique conversation, like dead serious. But first, I want to ask you I want to get you ready for the quick response section. So do you know how this section works?
You ask questions, I answer them.
Okay, I'm assuming you didn't know. Alright, the quick response section works like this, guys. I ask questions and he answers them. Right? Complicated, right?
That is a revelation. I'm sorry. I totally had you wrong there.
Yeah, you totally had so you're off, because like it's not just I ask you questions, but you ask you never mind. Okay, I messed up. Alright, so are you ready for
Are you still with us? Good work. You feel alright?
I'm okay.
Right, buddy?
It's hot in this room. I can't point my fan at me because it'll get my mic and it'll sound weird. But anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so are you ready for the quick response section?
Yes.
Alright. Favorite hero? Dota.
Oh god. Earthshaker.
Favorite hero Strife?
Oh god. Lady Tinder.
Favorite Not? Also Nuts.
Admiral Swiggins.
Really? You like him?
Yeah, he's the best. He's the
No,
best.
it's so. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, quick response. That's my bad. Favorite team? Any esports scene?
Oh god, Cloud9, probably.
From Dota?
Yeah, for Dota. Cloud9
Alright.
Dota.
Favorite commentator?
Oh god. For Dota, it's gonna be ISE. For StarCraft 2, John Bain, aka Total Biscuit.
And for Strife, it's Creepy Pie, right?
Yeah, for Strife, it's like this guy called Ishida Tsuki. He has the best hype I've ever heard.
Nice. Favorite color?
Favorite color? Red.
Favorite number?
No. Favorite number? 13 or 7. Depends. 7.
Favorite day of the week?
Thursday.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's unique. And the last question I'll ask you is favorite thing about esports in one word?
Hype.
Cool. Alright, so we'll move on to the next scene, or next question, because this one asks about the esports scene. So, what are some of the aspects that you like of the esports scene? And this can go across all the boards, just make it general. But what are some of the things that you love about the esports scene?
I really love about the esports scene it's like two parts. The first part is how the whole scene it's small enough to still stay together. Like we are esports. We're not like basketball and whatever or baseball, but we are esports currently. We're a collective, and it's really fun. There are, of course, rivalries between certain scenes, but still that idea of we are gamers and we have esports and they just stay together. It's really, really cool. Especially you saw that with the international prize pool, where just people from all kind of games came together and were like, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yes, and one of the beautiful things too, just to, what's the word?
Yeah.
Reinforce that is the League of Legends thing. When League of Legends first, like the report came out that you can get a passport for playing League of Legends professionally. Like all the scenes, despite all the stuff that everybody had between them, said, "Oh my gosh, this is great for esports. This is awesome."
Yeah, exactly. Like that is the second. That's the second part that I wanted to go on, and that is the rate that esports grows. Because I got into esports back when the only kind of professional coverage you could get was the, what was it, WPC, I think, from StarCraft.
Yeah. Well,
so those were the only guys that actually did some remotely professional coverage. They actually sat there in their ties and suits and talked about the game like you saw on TV. And then I saw like more and more people popping out that actually did that, and you now have people like Beyond the Summit, or less Beyond the Summit, like Join Dota, that actually get this down really, really professionally, like actually try to not to do the worst jokes in the world and look good when they're actually on stream and stuff like that. It's really, really fun. And of course, the high production value all around, especially Beyond the Summit.
And you and you also have the other scenes, like the other studios. I mean, because you also have 2G. Two good studios.
Two good
studios. And the thing a lot of people like to say is that, oh my gosh, they're so professional, and this and that and the other. But honestly, it's a difference of preference. It's like that's different TV stations. Join Dota. It's like, I don't know, like the super. It's not always professional in Join Dota, but for the most part, they're like pretty much straightforward. It's, Beyond the Summit, they try to aim as high as they can, and 2G, they're all about having fun and just relaxing with you. And I like the fact that there's different studios. So I would definitely agree with you that those are great things to love about the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's also, again, like you said, you have different different offer for different tastes, but they still like belong to the Dota 2 or the League of Legends or whatever scene, or just like esports scene. As I said, like you have different studios and they have different characteristics, and that is fucking awesome. I don't remember seeing different football broadcasters, soccer broadcasters. Apologies for you, American people.
It's okay.
So, different studios that broadcast football and have that really different kind to present the game. And it's just really fun. Like you have such a varied offering for everything. So
and
good.
people will choose what they like and they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So the next question I ask you, like I said, I'm not really following this list of questions. But the next question I ask you is, okay, you have Riot on one side. Oh, not Riot. Yeah. Okay, I can throw Riot in there. You have Riot on one side. You have Valve on the other side, and you also have S2 on the other side. So it's like a little triangle. Those are the main games. Actually, let's replace Riot with Ronimo so we can make it more relevant to the games that you actually cast it for. What do you think their approach to their community is like? Between the three of them, who do you think has a more unique approach? Who do you think has a more personalized approach? And who do you think has a better overall approach?
Oh boy. The thing is, you can't really compare them too much because Ronimo works with a really small clientele. They have a small scene that is very dedicated to their game, but they're like below the big numbers. Like I don't think they ever cracked 10k, something like that. And on the other side, you have Valve with 800,000 plus individual players each day.
No, dude, all I gotta say is you have Valve with $8 million to give to people.
That as well, like Valve, who is literally drowning in money.
That goes to the players. That goes to the players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, 1/4 of the whole thing goes to the players, and the other 3/4
Good point.
they will just use.
$2.50 of your $10 goes to the prize pool. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the
No,
rest?
like Valve is literally drowning in money, and I'm really happy to see that because I love the game. But Jesus Christ, that's a fuck ton of money. Just from a tournament ticket as well. Like if they just had like, yeah, we earned this kind of money since we officially launched Dota. I was like, yeah, okay, that
It's
sounds
growing.
cool.
It's growing, man.
Sounds profitable. But then they say, yeah, we earned this much money from just selling the fucking magical purple book of esports. And yeah.
It's mind-boggling, especially because like all esports teams have to recognize it because that's a large sum of money. And actually, it's not just all esports teams, but it kind of speaks of esports in general because people who don't know anything about games say, "Oh, there's $8 million just to play a game," but they're referring to Dota, and it's reflecting that you can do this professionally.
Yeah, this is as I said, like every day the esports scene grows. And you just see how it affects and helps you, and thus this I completely lost my
It's okay, but the last approach,
right.
the last approach you missed was, I think, S2's approach to their community.
Yeah. Okay. S2's the thing about S2, they seem to be in the rut right now. I want to say I haven't played a lot of Hon. I played about 5 to 10 hours of Hon, and then I just quit because I got called a fucking faggot, and so everybody told me to go back to My Little Pony Tournament Fighter. So I left and went back to Dota. But
the game's intense. That game's intense, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
My Little Pony Tournament Fighter, guys. It's just as crazy as Skullgirls.
Dude, it's the fucking shit. But I will kick your ass with Applejack all over the floor. So.
Okay, keep going.
No, S2 currently is in this weird situation because of the identity that Hon had. Because Hon, like a little history for everybody that doesn't know about the amazing thing that is the history of Dota, which you totally should check out because it's one of the more interesting development stories. So, in the beginning, there was Aeon of Strife, which was a StarCraft 2 mod.
Right.
Then there was I'm gonna make this really, really short. Then there was Dota, which was a mod for Warcraft 3, where you battled with different heroes against other heroes. Then there came Dota All Stars, which had which united all the minds from all the other Dota mods because there were a lot of Dota mods, and Dota All Stars kind of united everything in it. And there you have the big people like Ginzo and Yule and Ice Frog and whoever. And then you had a kind of three-way split. Yule just kind of kept going with Dota. Ginzo went over to Riot and founded Riot and got League of Legends. And then I don't know who it was, but there was a third guy that was like, just fuck it. League of Legends is newer and kind of wants to do a better game, but it's way too casual. But the original Dota All Stars, is really fucking old and it looks like garbage.
Wasn't it Kunkka? Kunkka?
I think it was I really don't know. I have to check it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk any shit. But yeah, they were like, we don't really like the direction that Dota All Stars is going, but we don't want to go over to League. So they went off and founded S2 and got Hon going, Heroes of New Earth, which was a faster and more action-oriented Dota, but it still had the mechanical details of the Dota All Stars in comparison to League, so you could still pull, you still had the day-night cycle, etc., etc., etc. And now Hon is in a really weird spot because Hon for a long time was the better Dota, and now we kind of have Dota 2. So where does that put Hon? Because Dota All Stars doesn't get played that much anymore, and if you want a different experience from Dota, you go over to League of Legends, but if you want Dota just better, you go to Dota 2. So Hon currently is just trying to establish their own, like they started establishing their own hero pool for a while ago, and people are really split on this. Like people that already played Hon stayed with Hon and keep playing that, and then there are people that are just like, yeah, which game should I start? I stopped playing Dota All Stars and I want to play a better Dota, so they just go over to Dota 2. But let's get back to the original question, because I made a gigantic roundhouse thing out of that. The way that Strife manages their community, don't know how it is now, but back when I was into the game, they were really community oriented. So they implemented a lot of community heroes, actually, like the Cthulhu Fund, for example, was an idea from the community, and they just perfected it. And somebody else, I don't know who, but they actually implement heroes that are ideas from the fans and like call them out, like, yeah, look, this is our community hero. Go all that way, and their support is really fun, and they try to really go on the touchy-feely side, like actually interact with the people. So they kinda are on the middle basis of what Valve does to what a smaller company is able to do, like Ronimo.
Okay.
But they tend to sway more into the realms of what Riot does, and just start keeping interactions to the forums and stuff like that.
As opposed to reaching out with, like, I don't know, what does... It's kind of weird. Like, what exactly does Valve... Like, in your opinion, what exactly does Valve do that's different from everybody else? Because it's...
Valve
I feel like they have
interact.
more...
Valve doesn't interact. The thing about Valve is, you see Valve do stuff... you never know what Valve is actually doing. They don't really... Like, they do interact with the scene, of course, but they never come out and say, hey, everybody, this is the big community hero, and all of you guys get to vote on it. And I'm going to get completely trashed because I say this, because they actually do that in the compendium. But otherwise, it's just like 1 or 2 months of silence, and then suddenly 6.79 comes out.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to lead it off with, because it seems like they have more, like, sporadic impact, but their impact is always known. Like, when those patch notes come out, that changes the entire game.
Exactly. Like, as I said, Valve doesn't really interact that much, and it's also the kind of way that Valve actually handles stuff like complaints or improvement. They just see it, and they go, okay, we saw this. But they're not going to be like, oh, hey, this sounds amazing, we might be implementing this into the next patch. They see this and say, seems fine, but you never see that because they just say that to themselves, and then 2 months later on the line, okay, community said they wanted to all click on everything to make the game easier. There you go, all click is now implemented. GG.
And also, side note, just a little fun fact for everybody, just a little background on Valve. I actually watched the little developer thing for Valve, and they were just basically talking about how they did things as far as the development process goes, and they were saying this all in reference to Team Fortress 2. But if you guys play Team Fortress 2, you know about the man versus or the man versus robot, or whatever it's called.
Man versus machine.
Yeah, that one.
Jesus Christ.
One of those words. Man versus machine. That was actually like, they were actually working on that for about 2 years before it actually released. And what they did was, like, they released, like, little teasers here or there. They released, like, a picture of something, like, you know, the engineer working on something, and then they would just monitor the forums to see what people were talking about. And fun fact, that's also how the engineer got his little fancy hand for all those who play Team Fortress 2. His hand machine thing, like, that was an original idea from Valve. People in the community were like, they saw a blueprint in the background, which is supposed to be an arm for one of the machines, for the man versus machine thing, and said, oh, that's the engineer's hand because he wears that glove, so he's hiding a robot arm. And Valve's like, hey, that's a good idea, let's work on it. And that's how that became. So basically, Valve, like I said, they have a more dramatic impact, it seems, but they're always listening, and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, what it all comes down to, I think, is that Valve are the masters of hype, because they communicate nothing, but they keep leaking small stuff. Like, they're absolutely amazing in just leaking something and saying, oh, I never heard about that. Where did you get that from? Oh my god. And then just building the fucking hype. It's the best thing. Yeah. And they let their community do most of their advertising, because everybody's like, oh my god, I saw this leaked picture and it had like 3 little goblins on it and Half-Life 3 and tech is coming.
Good point. Good point indeed. Good point indeed. Okay. We'll leave that one laying where it is, but we need to move on to the next question, okay?
Right.
Alright, so these questions seem boring now. What do you like about casting?
Again, like, I love to use that word, like, but I love the hype. My biggest dream as a caster is a game where it's all team fight, and the things I love most about casting are Black Hole, Epicenter, Echo Slam, as well as Ravage. Those are the 4 things I love about casting.
Because as soon as, like, from the time you see it start until the time the team fight ends, you can just start yelling full on.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Like, the guys that keep watching my cards, every time an Epicenter goes off, and I just start yelling and hyping the shit out of that, they were all like, yeah, I had the stream muted, but I still could hear you over the fucking ocean.
Well played.
And
Well played.
it's really fun to do that kind of stuff because it's a big thing that just just dominates the entire screen, and you can do nothing else. That just, oh my god, it's the black hole! It caught 4 people. Everybody's dead. It's a disaster.
And just
yeah.
make it exciting. Make it exciting for the end user.
Oh, absolutely. That is what I want. I want the end user to have the same experience that I love when I watch a cast. I want to be excited. I want to sit on the edge of my seat, and I want people just to do this these small little fist pumps in front of their computers, like, fuck yeah, that was fucking amazing. I want to see that again. Come on. And yeah, just get that hype across.
All right. Now going back to the 3 different games that you've casted for, what will be one thing that you can, or that you have pulled from each game as far as commentating for them? Like, what's one aspect that's affected you as far as your casting style? There you go. What is one thing that's shaped your casting style from each game that you've casted? And these games I'm referring to are Dota, Strife, and Awesomenauts.
Alright, so Nords taught me how to cast team fights, because if you've never seen Awesome Nords, I would recommend you would check out some kind of video of somebody, because there is actually a fuck ton of content from Awesome Nords on YouTube. But it's all action all the time. So they really taught me how to do play-by-play, because everything happens so fast, and you just have to keep going, and you have to talk, and if you stumble over your own words, you're done. And in the beginning, like when I started casting StarCraft, I did the small impression earlier, but I wasn't completely accurate, because the impression would have been more like, we see the SCVs getting pumped out, and so I wasn't able to talk at all. And Awesome Nords fixed that for me, because if I once, I missed a team fight completely. So it was fast, furious, and really, really fun to see. And then Dota 2 taught me to watch how to do fill time. Because I came into Dota 2 the time where you had a lot of 4 Protect 1 and tri-lanes and stuff like that, and not much was going on, but you still had to fill up the time. So that was also the time where I started incorporating co-casters, because I still can't fill time efficiently on my own, because I just start talking about, like, Wolfling has been really doing good in this patch, and a lot of people tend to go this kind of item first and stuff, and then I start stuttering again because I don't have to do stuff, and yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So Dota really is teaching me how to fill the gaps. That's why I also love Chinese Dota, because you can actually train to fill your gaps for 60 minutes before something happens.
Because every game, no matter if they pick a push strat, it'll take 60 minutes.
No, like, Chinese Dota is fucking amazing. They completely wipe the enemy team, and they can break base, and they're like, oh, we could break base, or, oh, in 20 seconds, Roshan is back up, and with Aegis, we will win the next team fight, and maybe the one after that, especially with Cheese. So, let's go and get a Roche.
And then they turn around and say, oh, okay, we just got Aegis, but I'm going to farm Ancients, and then we'll wait for the next Aegis to go for it, okay?
We just got Aegis, but I'm only 3,000 gold away from my Hex, so let's farm for another 20 minutes.
It's like, it's infuriating sometimes as a caster, because you're like, okay, Dragon Knight is farming, Pudge, there's a Pudge is farming, Crystal Mate, they're all farming.
The one I saw a game once. I don't know if that was competitive or like pub I casted, because I keep mixing these things up. But it was basically Chinese Dota. They had a Pudge mid, and the Pudge got a hand of Midas. And I was just like, no, what the fuck?
What is this
You're
like?
a ganker, fuck you!
What is this like? Okay, well, he has to get farmed. Okay.
Yeah, he has to get far so he stays relevant for like in an 80-minute game. It's all planned out, bro.
All right, so also nice taught you how to cast team fights. Dota taught you how to fill in time. What has Strife taught you as far as shaping your casting style?
It taught me a lot about objective-based gaming and commentary, especially on synergies, because Strife is a game that relies on hero synergies. Like in the early game. In the late game, it's more like League, where you have those specialists that do stuff, and then you have the utility-based heroes that just fall off and are kind of boring to play in the late game. But early game, you need a lot of utility. So you see the map movement, you see all the ganks, and you keep checking the minimap because everybody could be anywhere at any time. So that just taught me that. And especially, it also helped me out in identifying stuff on the screen, because if you only watch Dota, you don't realize how well presented Dota 2 is. If an ultimate goes off, you see that ultimate go off.
Yeah.
You see the Luna ultimate just trashing everybody, or the black hole that's in the middle of the screen, or you hear that Silencer just casted his ultimate. That is not the case in most other MOBAs. Most other MOBAs are sometimes a bit too subtle about their representation of their skills.
Or a bit too dramatic, because I've heard it said that Han is like, you do this big, super fancy, big avalanche thing, and it's like, does 10 damage.
Oh yeah, that is something that I heard about Han as well.
It's like, why is it, it's like all these sound effects and, okay. You
Yeah,
did 20
well,
damage,
Strife,
bro.
especially since it is a thing that is in beta, or was a thing that was in beta, and just didn't have like the punch that you had from other stuff, so you had a big ultimate that went off, but you had nothing that actually sounded like an ultimate, and you just have to really watch that team fight really, really closely.
Okay, so things are a lot subtle in Strife because they're a lot more chilled out. Dota seems to be the perfect balance between extravagance and non-extravagance. And
Oh yeah, people call me a big Dota fanboy, but in my opinion, like Dota is the thing that other MOBAs should strive for.
I see what you did there.
I'm winking right now, but I just remember that I actually don't have a webcam on. So.
Oh, that awkward moment. That awkward moment when I get to
yeah.
see your beautiful face.
I know. Just imagine me winking creepily.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I can't unsee the picture now. I can just picture the picture you sent me with just you winking. That's okay. That's creepy. That's creepy pie. Get it, creepy pie.
Bam!
Woohoo! All right. Speaking of creepy pie, you cast for a group called the Broadcasters. What is that group? What do you guys do, and why should we care?
You should care because we're awesome. The broadcasters were an idea that I had a few months back because I stopped casting Autonauts, but I wanted to get into casting again because I haven't casted in a long time, and casting is a lot of fun. So I wrote Creepy Pie, who's a friend of mine, and we met in the via the Autonauts scene. He was writing tons of guides over there. And he just kind of did his thing. And we also co-casted a few games, and it was really, really fun co-casting with him. So, I had the idea that you have a lot of people that do like normal casts or like just try to get into the community by casting the pro games. But we wanted to get a step further and just wanted to build a community around our organizations. So the idea was every Friday we're going to stream, and we are not going to cast just any game. We're going to stream your game. Like, just, you can send in the pub. We're using the Dota 2 cast. We did use the Dota 2 cast at Reddit. And just, yeah, submit your games, and we're going to cast your game. And you can actually get your game cast, because everybody wants this game cast. Let's be honest here. And, yeah. And we just did that for 2 to 3 months. And then real life stuff happened, and we're currently on hiatus, but we're planning on coming back. But it's basically, we will cast your game if you want it, and if you submit it, actually, and not just any old game.
So the broadcasters are my bros that would cast my game because they're my bros.
Exactly, like we're the bros that cast the games.
Oh.
And we started out doing Dota 2 and Strife, and then we never got submissions for Strife, and then technical difficulties for because of a bigger update happened, and then we just kind of stopped casting Strife. But we're planning on picking that up again, but they have to fix some stuff first.
Okay, and the last questions that I'll elaborate on before we get to our outro questions, which actually I'll cut those down too, will be this. Okay, so patches affect different games. I mentioned this before, that when Valve releases a patch for Dota, it's pretty much change the entire game. I know for League of Legends, they do their periodic patch updates, but it doesn't seem to change the game as hard as it probably should. So, relative to the games that you've seen, because I know Awesomenauts, they patch things, but they don't tell you. It seems like they don't tell you. But
Well, they do, but they only tell on the forums, so it kind of gets lost most of the time.
But relative to all the scenes, as far as balancing out their games, who do you think has the more wanting update system, I guess?
I really like Dota 2's update system. I like the balance. I like the way that Icefrog balances. Plus, I love the idea of having the captain's mode and normal mode. Like, you have that distinct, for fuck's sake, that distinct difference between this character is ready for competitive play, and this is a character which is fooling around with and want to rework. And let's see how it works out, or he isn't ready yet. And that is something that League, in my opinion, misses a lot, because they should just have that distinction as well. Because what they're doing right now is just having, Heimerdinger is banned from LCS and Vel'Koz as well, and then you have that one game that some people picked a character they weren't allowed. They played out the game, they finished up, and then they got contacted by the tournament organizer, like, you picked a character that wasn't allowed, so we have to redo the game. And then they couldn't redo the game. They couldn't redo the game because they already had different plans, and they actually got a default loss, which was fucking garbage in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of stuff, it's just, I don't know, it's not professional. It kind of reminds me of some other games that just have a competitive format forced on them, but weren't made for it. I'm not gonna say names because people are gonna hate on me.
Checkers, chess. No, it's fine. It's fine. Keep going.
I said I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, it just feels like, we want to do competitive, but we actually don't want to implement that into the launcher. So I don't know. Yeah, it just feels wonky to me. But the thing about League's balancing is, you said they change, but they don't change that much. They change every season. Like, every season, between the seasons, they actually have big patches. And like, while the seasons run, they are trying to keep up the current meta. Like, they try to keep up the current trends as good as they can, and just do minor changes. And I see the thought behind that. They want to create a stable surrounding where you can play what you play and say, we are the kings of season 2 or season 3 and whatever. And then season 5 comes around, and it's like cleaning the slate. We're going to do some big changes, rework a few heroes, and go again. I see where that comes from, and it's an interesting concept. Yeah.
And the last game was, of course, Awesomenauts.
Oh yeah, Awesomenauts is... They got better now, but in the start they did some balancing according to community. And
that was needed. It was needed. Sniper Durple.
Yeah.
Sniper Durple OP, please.
Dude, not even that. Like, they just balanced what the community wanted them to, and it was kind of weird, especially in the start. They had some really hard hiccups regarding balancing. And then they had a big test group that worked out patch notes and stuff like that. It was interesting. They have an interesting approach to balancing. Before, they balanced in big sweeps. They were like, yes, this is completely removed. This is absolutely fucking OP now, and this is nerfed into the ground, so you won't pick this character ever again. And then they got feedback again from the community, and they had to learn how to balance around. And now they're doing baby steps. They were, and now it sounds more like Dota patch notes or League patch notes, where they're like, remove slow by 2 seconds, it was reduced by 2 seconds, but the damage got increased by 0.5% and stuff like that. Now they're taking really small jumps, and they also don't really do the big sweeps like Valve does or League between the seasons. So Nords is really consistent, and they want one product and just shape around that.
That's good to hear. That's always great to hear. Alright, now, back to questions about you and less about the community, because we spoke a ton about different communities. And like I said, guys, this is one of the unique opportunities for us to ask about all these other communities, so if you don't know about all these other games out there, like Strife, Astronauts, and League of Legends, you should probably go check them out. Maybe you might like it. I don't know. Guess I'm just trying to give them a time, or a little spotlight to shine, but darn it, I still can't pronounce your name.
Ishida.
Ishida.
It's like Shida, just with an I. My God.
Ishida.
Okay,
Ishida. Could you please tell us what is one thing that you do not like about casting in general? Like, just you absolutely hate this part about casting.
What do I not like about casting? The whole technicalities around it. I love casting itself, but like setting up the stream and getting the fucking overlay to work, and then the microphone kills itself or doesn't want to work or only works on the left channel and all that little stuff like that. I don't like doing that at all. That is really fucking annoying.
That's the most painful part for you?
Yeah, kind of. Also, there are these casts where I'm just tired and it's a boring fucking game, but I gotta keep up the hype. It's just difficult. Well, that's just me being a backcaster, so...
I mean, hey, different people have different opinions on different things, but I think it's just you being tired, because that does happen.
Yeah, it's mostly me being tired. Like, I had Awesome Nords once. I did cast an entire game. Like, I got up at 6 or 7 and casted until 10 or 11 in the evening. And towards the end, I got so fucking tired, and I couldn't keep it up, like, keep the hype up consistently. I just had, like, 5 or 10 minutes where it was just, like, silent and, like, yep, double got killed. Goku got killed. Top tower is fallen. I just turned into a fucking announcer.
You turned into an announcer pack? That was
yeah, Ishida announcer pack. I am now more hype.
Only $8 million. Actually, stretch goal $9 million. Ishida announcer
$9 million. Absolutely. I'm gonna contact Valve about that because all of my fans desperately wanted the Ishida Tsuki announcer pack.
I'll pay money for that one. But okay.
Do it.
No. Stop trying to convince me to do things I don't want to do. And speaking of doing things you don't want to do, aside from playing Dota, which is something that you do like to do, what do you do for fun?
I play a lot of video games, and I am an absolute movie and series nerd. So I love watching movies. I go to the cinema quite often now because there are actually good movies coming out. And when I don't watch movies, I actually watch series. So yeah, I am just binging media all over the place. I also like music. I'm a roadie in a small local band, which is really enjoyable. And yeah, that's what I do for fun. Would
you like to name the band to give them a shout out?
It's the Ricky Leroy Brown project. I don't know if we're still called that because we went over some image changes and I haven't talked to the band leader about some stuff, but last time I checked, which was 2 weeks ago, we were still the Ricky Leroy Brown project.
Alright, so guys, go check them out, and you might be able to find them on the internet. And speaking of finding things on the internet... Okay, sorry, too soon, my bad. Any interesting talents that you would be okay with telling the internet?
Excuse me, what? I didn't...
Do you have any interesting talents that you would be okay with telling the internet?
What do I have? What kind of interesting talents do I have? I don't really have that many interesting talents. I don't know.
There's gotta be one.
I can learn stuff really, really fast. That's I guess interesting. So when the new patch comes out, everybody who's playing with me is just like, yeah, like what was Huskar's new skill again? And I could just recite the patch notes from my head. So I guess that could be interesting for the internet.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't know. I can organize stuff really, really fast and efficient.
So you would be good at stacking cups?
For example, yeah.
Really?
I did do stacking a few years ago, but I never really followed through because video games happened. So
Video games ruined your stacking life.
yeah, video games ruined my entire sports life. Like I recently, I played basketball. I don't know if you, what is it called in English? Handball. It's called over here. It's like basketball, but with soccer nets.
Yeah.
Instead of a
field
thing.
hockey.
What? No.
Or just handball.
Handball, yeah.
Yeah,
it's called
we probably call it
handball.
handball. We probably call it handball.
Yeah, board and ball is also a name for that, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, you mean cricket? I'm sorry.
No, it's not cricket.
I know. I'm just joking. Cricket confuses me.
What
I'm sorry.
No, I play handball everything, and I'm quite a big fella. Like not big, but I'm 1 meter 90 to 2 meters. So let's convert that into meritards units.
Hey. It's called metric.
Apologies.
Actually, no, sorry, it's not called metric. It's
No,
called...
you're not metric. That's
I know,
the
SI.
funny part about it.
Wait, are we SI? No, you guys are SI. We're metric. No, we're not. Oh
We're
my god.
metric. We're metric. You're not.
So we're SI. We're SI. Okay, I'm good.
Right. So I'm something between something around 47 inches long.
You have to convert that to feet.
Yeah, of course. 74 inches to feet. Let's see. Feet to inches.
Go Google, go.
Okay, 6 feet 1, 6 feet 2, 6 feet 3, something around that.
So you're 6'1".
Yeah.
Okay. So you're about as tall as me. That's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
That is.
But yeah, like that I played basketball and handball and even a bit of volleyball, but I sucked at volleyball. And yeah, then video games happened.
And then video games just stole all of the life that you had left and just
Yeah, exactly.
took it away.
I'm like Juan, but without the actual being successful at a card.
Okay, that's one way to put it. I mean, whatever makes you feel better, that makes you feel better. Doesn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You made me sad now.
No, it's okay. Don't worry, because your links have been all over places. And what I want to actually, before we get to our shoutouts, is where can people find you if they really want to find you?
If you really want to find me, you can find me on twitch.tv/Ishida Tsuki. That's where I put do most of my stuff. I play Dota. I comment on Dota. I actually did play a lot of Dota. I also play a lot of Smite recently, so if you're interested in that. And from time to time there comes a single player game which I love and I will just brush through on stream. Although that hasn't happened in a while. Last thing that happened with that was the new Strider game. That was fucking amazing. But yeah, I play video games on twitch.tv/Ishida Tsuki. If you want to hear me rambling about esports, movies, or Dota in general, or just life, you can find me on Twitter at Ishida Tsuki because unified brands.
And your newly created YouTube page. Don't forget that one.
Yeah, and my newly created YouTube page, which will get filled up with content, among other things, the Caster Challenge that I keep fucking forgetting, will be youtube.com/IshidaTsuki. You can also see all those information on the beautiful screen that Cool Blue always puts together for his beautiful show.
Yes, it only takes me 2 hours to make it. Oh,
yeah. It's the best thing, though, like... I mean, look at it. It looks professional. It has a beautiful face on the front. It has a nice logo. It has my name there.
That Juggernaut face is beautiful, I agree.
Juggernaut is the best, yeah.
I'm joking.
No, I'm actually talking about CM. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, right, this lady up there. Oh, Queenie Payne's there too.
Yeah, but she's kind of hidden by my face, and that kind of ruins everything, so...
That's good. He said it, I didn't. He said it and I did it.
But he thought it, I know it.
I was not thinking out loud. Okay, speaking of thinking out loud, shoutouts that you would like to make to any and everybody. Feel free to take your time.
I would really like to give a shout out to Creepy Pie for being the best co-caster in the world. Like, it's difficult for him to actually cast for me because of private stuff, but he always takes himself the time to do it. So it's amazing. I would also like to give a huge shout out to the Casters Network in general, because you guys are good and you actually give me a platform to promote myself so I can sell out. which is the best. I also want to give a shout out to the devs of Geronimo. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I love you guys. You good devs. You're really good devs.
Aw, who cares?
And yeah, for the I also God damn it, I have so many stuff to do. I also want to give a shout out to the team at Flipside Tactics who actually gave me a chance to write up for them. So if you want to read some interviews I do, you can find them on flipsidetactics.com. They also have amazing tutorials for Dota. So if you want to get into the game, there's certainly a place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, also shout out to shoutouts because it's always nice being nice to people.
No,
Almost said something nasty there.
no shout out to god. No shout out to family. Like hi mom. Shout out to dog.
My family doesn't really care what I do,
Aw.
and they don't even know that esports exists. But so if you want a real life shout out to my SO or girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, Daphne, because she has been actually supporting me a lot for casting, and she even agreed to get into Dota, so she knows what the fuck is going on.
Ooh,
She
nice.
is really, really supportive, and I couldn't be happier to have somebody. God damn it. I am happy that I have somebody that actually supports me casting.
It's like love at true sight, or love at first sight. Wow, love it.
It's like True Side.
Yeah, you get a gym, you can see everything.
Yeah, I know.
See, guys, we turned it around. We turned it around.
It's the best thing. But yeah, shout out to her. She is good. She's really good.
I'm still waiting for the shout out to mom, just generic shout out, hi mom, and then.
No, she doesn't even know what I do. Seriously.
Fine. Okay, guys, we're not going to say hi mom here, so it's okay. It's okay.
Shout out to every other caster's mom though. So hi guys.
Hey, some people take offense to that.
No, that is something that annoys the shit out of me because I can't say hi to anybody's mom because everybody's like, yeah, fuck you too. No, seriously, say hi to your mom from me.
It's like, what's that supposed to be? It's like, then they're ready to like kill you and stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Christ.
times.
That is so annoying. Fuck you, internet, for that.
Don't worry, the internet will. Okay, well, professional, right? Focus.
Yes.
Because we're almost
Focus.
there. We can see the light. All we gotta do is say goodbye. And I still can't pronounce your name. Shida.
Yes.
Shida. I'm just
Ishida.
gonna call you Shida.
Shida. Yes. Why don't you do that?
Because
It's Ishida. Just read how it's written.
'Cause
And
I
the
see-
SH isn't. Shh.
I see the I like okay. I want to pronounce it Ishida, but
Ice Hida. That is.
or Ishida.
What?
Ishida. That's the American way.
Is Hida? Okay. Like the SH. I don't know. I thought that English-speaking people actually realized that SH isn't a sh sound, but
She.
Shida.
Yeah, Ishida.
Like it's the. I didn't even write it in the plebby Swiss way, which would be with an SCH.
Oh right, you speak a different language too. You speak German.
Yes,
right?
yes, I'm Swiss, so I speak German and Swiss German, and it's the silliest thing.
Okay. All right. So one thing I always do with people who speak different or can't speak different languages fluently enough, ask them to just take a moment to say something to all the people out there who speak your language. This is just for between you and them. Please keep it PG, relatively speaking, and just let me know when
Really?
you're done if you're comfortable.
All right, so okay, this goes out to all the Swiss people that actually listen to this. Salut zusammen, wenn band og goed Dota casting losen, dan könnt ihr auf twitch.tv/Ishida Tsuki kommen. Und CasNet ist super. Ihr solltet mehr von diesen Videos schauen, wenn ihr erst jetzt die Task geschaut habt. Und ja, einfach weiter cool bleiben und actually Dota spielen. Schöne. Yeah, that's done.
Oh, okay. That sounded very. I don't know. People say people who aren't trained and listen to the German voice, like I'm not. Say it sounds very aggressive.
That was Swiss German though, so that is it's a dialect that the whole country speaks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, German actually sounds differently.
Okay.
So yeah, Swiss German has a lot of weird sounds in it, and it has some weird pronunciation. So the Germans actually do not understand Swiss German for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, like it's a language barrier.
Oh. Is it like Icelandic, where like you have some of the most craziest of like sounds that you have to make with your mouth?
No, it's not that crazy, but like for example, we have all the umlauts like a, u, ö, which is something that is present a lot more in Switzerland, and then we have that legendary sound, the ch, which is something that every foreigner just keeps stumbling over it. Like we have. If you get a foreigner in Switzerland and they're like, oh yeah, I don't speak that good Swiss German, but I know the basics, you always ask them to say "Huchichashli," which is basically the Swiss German word for cupboard. Come on, you want to say it for the viewers? Huchichashli.
Wait, hold on. Say it again, and I'll record you saying it, and I'll play it back for you.
Yeah, come on.
What? I'm not
Don't be a wuss. Don't be a wuss. Come on, say it.
I can't. It's gonna be horrible.
Dude, I talk Swiss German for you. You're gonna say Huchichashli for me.
Alright, I'll say it. Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, my mic muted itself. Darn, you didn't hear me.
GG.
It was gorgeous sounding though. It was gorgeous sounding.
Try again.
No, but my mic was accidentally mute every single time I try. I can't.
Oh, that is really okay. Let's just leave it at that. It's okay.
But
I mean, technical difficulties are technical difficulties.
yeah, you know, technical difficulties. My mic is just every once in a while. I don't know why. Like you see that? I can't keep. No.
All right, man. All right, I'm gonna leave you off the hook for this time.
But the only other language I ever tried to learn was Japanese, and that like I see your name and I could figure out where the divisions are for characters, but I just couldn't pronounce it.
Oh god, I started learning Japanese, and then I was like, yeah, how much do I have to learn until I can actually read or watch something in Japanese? And I looked into it, and I was like, no, fuck this.
Too much. TLDR or TLDL. Too long, didn't learn.
TLDL, exactly.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and cut the cast there because we've been speaking for quite a bit on all sorts of things, but the main thing is Ishida Tsuki. Okay, how do you pronounce the second part?
Tsuki.
Really?
Or if you want to be really weeaboo-esque, Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida
Like
Tsuki.
the U, yeah, the U gets swallowed because in Japanese they don't really use the U sound.
Alright, I was just saying Ishida Tsuki.
Ishida.
Ishida, right.
Ishida.
Alright, Ishida. Alright, so we've learned a lot of things about Ishida. We've learned that Cool Blue has trouble pronouncing things. I have trouble spelling things too, but that's another topic.
That is horrible, dude. You should get that checked.
That's what spell check's for. It's my check. See, guys, it makes sense. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. So, Ishida, would you like to say your final goodbye to all the beautiful people out there, please?
Goodbye, beautiful people. I'm actually impressed that you stuck through this so long. Nice having you here, and if you want to hire me, I will cast a tournament and produce all the hype you ever want.
And he will pronounce his name for you, because Cool Blue can't.
I will actually, that is included in the getting me for your tournament. I will say my name myself whenever you have to say it, so I will get on everything there and just say Ishida, just so you don't have to make a fool of yourself.
There you go. See, guys, he's helpful, he's agreeable, and he's also experienced among different games. So I think it's really, really interesting as crap that we got to talk about all the other games that you casted, and you got to let us know what it's like on the other side of casting.
It's dark, bro. It's really dark. Like, no prize pool. 10 years since Sing stream. It's the worst.
Yeah. Dude, imagine the Scrolls scene. Like, Scrolls is still growing, but Hearthstone is, like, kicking its tail right now.
Yeah, that's true, but Scrolls, I don't understand because Scrolls caters to a completely different audience than Hearthstone. It's so much more tactical and tabletop-y.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Say it right. It's frustrating. Guys.
It's frustrating,
Scrolls mixes everything that Cool Blue's bad at. It mixes hex-based strategy games, and also mixes TCG, which is random, Cool Blue never gets a card that he wants game.
It's the best. We should totally play Scrolls against each other.
Oh man, I will just actually no. I need to go back. They patched a lot of things. I haven't played.
Yeah, I haven't, dude. I haven't played the game in half a year now, so I don't know anything about the game.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go do that on our side or on our own time. Thank you guys for joining us for this video. So we'll go ahead and let you guys loose. Ishida and I are gonna go play some Scrolls, probably, or maybe not. And yeah, that's it for this video. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, you guys can find us on CasNet of course, CasNet, or youtube.com/CasNet, CasNetYT for YouTube. It's CasNetYT. And you guys can find Ishida. His links are up on the screen. Click on the YouTube one. It should be clickable, I think. Or maybe I'll make the picture clickable. One of those two. And you can also find the playlist for this whole entire interview series. It will be somewhere up on the screen as well in an annotation. You guys have probably been staring at that the whole entire time. My apologies. And that's really it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, we'll see you guys whenever.
Goodbye.